What's really, really, really good, social media world? We are live across all platforms from Spotify to YouTube, IG, shout out LinkedIn, Facebook groups. And right now, the world is screaming recession. So many people are talking about a recession, a massive correction, what's going on in the market. People are fear mongering, and still, yet we have business owners, small, medium, and large in real estate, in wholesaling real estate, who are making massive amounts of money, making it happen, making the thing happen, such as our guy Damarcus Maybury out of Atlanta, Georgia. Damarcus, what's good? How are you, bro?
Yes, sir. Doing good, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited, bro. Doing good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Damarcus is a member of the community, young man, 30 years old, and he's just hungry. And I can't wait for him to tell his story. But what we're going to be talking about is how Damarcus generated $60,000, closed and funded, Hudson everything to prove it, in 60 days, utilizing an interesting technique. All right. And he's going to tell you everything about it so that you can utilize this yourself, because there's no excuse right now in 2023. No matter how people are fear mongering, no matter how people are talking about what's going on in the world outside and this and that and the rah rah and all that, the fact of the matter is people are still making real money here. We are outside very, very heavy. So right after this intro, we're going to talk about how my man Damarcus generated $60,000 in 60 days, and we're going to give you the whole game with nothing to sell you, because we don't have anything but a dream to sell you and a bunch of value to show you how to get there. So let's get it right after this.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. I did. They hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the scoop, baby, tell the facts. Don't be shy.
Hey, yo! Damarcus, my guy. Those of you, before we get started with the actual show, I just got to say this. Damarcus is somebody who our relationship started off very, very mentor and coach, or coach and mentee type of relationship. And now I consider Damarcus a friend. I guess it's because we meet every single week without fail, as far as it depends upon us. And shoot, I mean, this man has become a staple in my life. You know what I mean? So,
Facts, bro. We're getting to be like family.
That's facts, man. That's 100% facts. So with that said, real quick, Damarcus, how old are you? Tell us a little bit about your family situation, what you got going on, so people at least can know who you are before we get into all this tangible value we're about to talk about right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, I'm Damarcus. I'm 30 years old. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Been living in Atlanta for, it'll be 5 years in December. Have a beautiful wife, beautiful 3-year-old son. Beautiful house. We're just here. We're doing it. I wholesale full time, 24/7, no days off.
Oh man, why our viewership started dropping whenever my man said he was married? It's more value than just good looks, y'all. He's about to drop game on y'all.
It is what it is, man.
I'm playing. So look, I'm really excited. They said the boy is back. They said, welcome back, Eric. Come on, you know I didn't go anywhere. I've been outside, baby. We've been outside. All right. So with that said, it's good to see you guys too. Thank you for all the energy. Please let us know in the comment section where you're tuned in from. Engage with us, because if we do have enough time, I would love to be able to talk with y'all. Can we just talk about this real quick? I haven't been live in a minute, and we already have 100 people live across all platforms right now. Shout out YouTube, shout out Facebook, shout out LinkedIn, shout out IG, shout out Twitch. We love all you guys. Spotify, iTunes, we love all you guys. Man, y'all show up heavy. Y'all shout out heavy.
No doubt.
All right, so with that said, let's talk about this. Damarcus, you generated $60,000 in assignment fees in 60 days. And what I want to do is just jump right into the meat and potatoes, and we don't even need to go over all the fluff. Let's start with this. First of all, what does that feel like? And then we can get into the tangible. $60,000 comes into your account from 60 days of initiating a campaign. what does that feel like for you whenever the money is cleared and you see it in your bank account? Like, yo, it's been 60 days and we generated $30,000 a month.
Man, it felt, it feels really, really good. It's like, it's kind of like shocking, you know what I mean? Like, I expect great things, I pray for great things. I read that, I have faith that great things will happen. But like when it hits your account and like you're just staring at it, you know what I mean? It's a great feeling to know that not only the money is there, but like you help someone enough to be able to create this amount of value for yourself, for my family. So it just feels amazing all the way around for the people that I help, and for me, for us, it feels great all the way around 360.
Yeah, 100%. I always
Hmm.
tell people from the first time we started making money wholesaling real estate, I always say, as great as you imagine it feeling, it feels better.
Yeah, it really
It
does.
feels better.
It's exhilarating, empowering. You know what I mean? The fact that I could do that in such a short time. I mean, we'll get into
Yeah.
more details later, but it felt great, nonetheless. Great.
But there's also a humbling side that people don't talk about because in order to get here, you had to be intentional about it, which means you've already
Right.
envisioned it, you've already dreamed it. So a lot of times
Hmm.
we don't talk about isn't there a level of dissatisfaction when you make that kind of money though? Or is that just me? Because we haven't talked
No,
about this.
no, I think we have. Well, I talked to my wife about it, or it's just like I want more. I want more. I want more. It's a gift and a curse. So it's like I did 60 and 60, but I really could have did 100 if things
Mm.
that went my way. But still humbling and blessed and grateful nonetheless. You know what I mean? But definitely, I'm pushing for more. We're pushing right now.
Facts, big facts,
Hmm.
big facts. Sahara Ali says Milwaukee, Wisconsin, baby. Ryan Wilkerson, South Carolina in the building. Was
What's
goody,
up,
was
Ryan?
goody. Let us know in the comment section where y'all are tuned in from. We have over 100 people across all platforms right now. So we got like 20 some people on Facebook, a few people on YouTube, Spotify Live, LinkedIn, Twitch, IG. What's good, everybody?
Can I
All
just
right,
say this before I even got to this point in the last 60 days, Ryan Wilkerson inspired me, bro, on this same type of platform, talking about that
mm,
big deal he did, and I messaged him a little bit. So it's just like, you pray for it, you work hard. Now I'm in his spot, having a
yeah.
podcast with you. So shout out to Ryan for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. I love to see it. I love to see it. Ryan gives you the prayer hands. You already know what's good. What's good.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I want to get into the value. So first of all, um, to generate $60,000 in 60 days is an average of $30,000 a month or about $1,000 a day, which is wild.
Hmm.
Okay. I want to put this into perspective for everybody, and that is okay. $30,000 a month. That's $360,000 a year, y'all. Okay, if you do $30,000 a month. Okay, let's put this into perspective for a lot of people because a lot of us have never made this type of money before. $360,000 a year in W-2 terms. If you were an employee to generate $360,000 a year, these are some W-2 jobs that'll generate you $360,000 a year. You could be a radiologist, a gastroenterologist, premier, by the way, a premier gastroenterologist, a general dentist, a physician, a CEO of a small up and coming Fortune 100 company, a dermatologist, a pharmacy technician. Look, listen, we're talking about professions that take 4 to 8 years of schooling, y'all,
Yeah.
to generate $360,000 in income before taxes.
Yeah.
And we all know if you make that same amount of money as a 1099, we're talking much. It's significantly more money based on the benefits, right? So it's a beautiful thing what Damarcus has done, and let's get into the meat and potatoes, Damarcus. So
Yeah.
when did this campaign begin so that you were able to make $60,000 from I want to say it was between 8/16, so
Yes.
September 16th
Hmm.
and October 16th,
Hmm.
right?
August to October. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
sorry,
August.
between August 16th and
And October.
October 16th, you were able to generate. So when did the campaign begin in order for you to be able to generate that money? That way people can see, the reality of this.
I honestly started with your challenge with you and Joey. August 1st, the 90-day challenge you guys had for the MLS challenge. So I started August 1st, and I closed like a small, I forget the amount of the deal, but August 16th was the first closing, and then 10/16 was the last closing to wrap up that 60. So my first closing was like just a little over 2 weeks from that challenge starting August 1st.
Come on, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so your campaign began on August 1st.
Yeah.
All right. And then between August 16th and October 16th is when you generate the money. So guys, you
Yes.
can see that it doesn't mean that because you begin the campaign on this day that money starts rolling in right away. There's a period of time. I'm trying to be realistic with everybody so we don't overpromise. But the reality is, if you begin in all sincerity and earnest, then
Yeah.
there will be a period of time where you're working your tail off, but you're not seeing any money.
Right.
Right. So let's talk about that really quick before we get into all the tactics that you use. What sustained you during that period, Damarcus, where it's like, man, you set the intention, it's August 1st, and then there's like two and a half weeks of time period before it's like, man, I'm not really seeing the action that I want. Like how did you emotionally get past that so you kept the same enthusiasm?
I just knew like I was focused really on the metrics. Like I wasn't, trying to, close something in a day or 2 days. I was really focused on like, all right, if I make 10 offers a day, I know for certain I'll get a deal. Like with this campaign, with what you guys started, $0 marketing spend. If I talk to enough agents or sellers or both, making 10 offers a day, like there's no way I'm not going to do well in this challenge. I told you that on one of our calls. There's no way I'm not going to do well in this challenge because I'm just going to make more offers. And I think it was one of our calls before August. You said I was making 5 offers a day, like 5 a day, 5 a day. And then you were like, bro, like, why not 10? I was like, I don't know. I never thought about it before. So I just put in my mind that I was going to ramp it up and give it like everything I had. And then the results just started trickling in, bro.
I love it. Look at what Ryan Wilkerson says. He says, what you do consistently every day will show up in production 90 days later if you're super efficient. So that speaks to how powerful your campaign was, because it didn't even take you the full 90 days to begin seeing the action.
Facts.
But I love this. I love that. I want to reiterate on that. You said I knew if if you ramped up, there's no way that you excuse me. My bad. I'm getting emotional. You said if you ramped up, there's no way that you don't hit goal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was just really, the mindset I wanted to approach it with. Like I love a challenge, so competitive background. So when you guys implemented that challenge, I'm like, all right, let me get in this, follow what they're doing, and give it everything I have for that challenge, which was the MLS 90-day challenge.
Yeah, so I wanted to get into that. Where does that mindset come from? I know the challenge was part of it. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just waiting for my voice to come back. But I know the challenge was a part of it. But where does that mindset come from? Because a lot of people, that's foreign to a lot of people, bro. The mindset of, there's no way I don't hit my goal. Like I like you had so much belief in it. It was almost like I remember I remember you talking like your excitement at the beginning of August, like you were so hyped about it, but you just had a different look in your eyes. Where does that come from?
Faith in God. Books that I read. I got a lot of books like Greatest Salesman in the World. A lot of those books I go back to in times of like doubt, or if I feel a dark cloud, I just go back to certain pages in the books, like that book, for example, The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's like, I will persist until I succeed. There's no way that I'm not going to succeed if I don't give up. And it just keeps talking about, like, if you keep going, the opportunity you've been looking for is right around the corner. If you stop, you won't ever find it. So sometimes we play tricks on our mind, like that is such a big, a big thing and a big goal. But the reality is, if you persist, at something like Ryan said, with concentrated effort, sustained over time, you have no choice but to run into something that's going to make money. It's really that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about how you actually did this. Let's talk about actually how you did this. This is the fun stuff right here. All right, everybody, pull your forks and knives out. We're getting into the meat and potatoes. All right, we're not even 15. We're just about 15 minutes in, and here we go. So, what was the marketing campaign that allowed you to generate this sort of volume?
The marketing campaign was strictly on agent, or I'm sorry, on market listings. So I was every
Mm.
day reaching out to agents. I can't even tell you how many agents I spoke with every day, but just pursuing 10 offers a day, 10 solid offers a day. So these are properties that are listed in the Atlanta market. I only did Atlanta. All these deals were in Georgia. And I mean, if a property is listed at 350, I'm coming in at like 250. And they're like, most people are like, dude, are you serious? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm dead serious. Can you present it to the seller, please? So I went through I went through a lot of that. Went through a lot of that, a lot of like, don't call me back. But there are several, and this campaign that I did is proof that there's several properties that have been listed for 60, 70 days. And if you catch that agent at the right time, agent is ticked off at the seller just enough for having this property up this long, the agent's not
Yeah.
getting paid, you can provide a bridge for that agent and for the seller to get a deal done. And that's what I did to generate this income.
I love that. So let's talk about this real quick. So your marketing campaign for generating $60,000 in 60 days was
Mhm.
on market, meaning what was your marketing budget to generate this $60,000? Come on, man. Y'all are
Bro,
not listening.
I
Y'all
will,
are
I
not
will,
listening.
I will provide bank statements. I did not spend any money on marketing for that whole time. I am now because I ran things back up, but I did not spend any money on marketing to get those deals. It was all free Zillow, Zillow.com.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Akiva says, what happened with Joey Bebo's 90-day challenge? He went strong and then dropped off all channels. He has not dropped off. He just hasn't been streaming on this one. And we're still supporting that 90-day challenge, and Joey's killing it. So
Yeah,
Akiva, that 90-day challenge is still going live. If you follow Joey Bebo, those challenges are still happening. It is still happening.
for sure.
So Damarcus, I love to see it, bro. So those of you that didn't see whenever I asked that question, those of you who were listening on the audio podcast, Damarcus put a big 0 over his eye whenever I asked him, how much did you spend in marketing expenses? So think about that, y'all. Think about that. What business can you get into while everybody else right now is screaming bloody murder in the streets right now with the recession, crash, correction, all sorts of stuff with $0 marketing expenses? My guy, Demarcus Mayberry out of Atlanta, generated $60,000 in revenue by
Hmm.
going on market directly to agents and making 10 offers a day. All right. And it's funny, Demarcus, because I always tell people this. There's the universe, the universe is indifferent to our existence. The universe doesn't care about us. It is not emotional. It doesn't care about us whether we live, die, are happy or rich or poor or sad. It doesn't care.
Hmm.
So, but there is a thing called cause and effect. If we do the thing, the cause, then we're virtually guaranteeing the effect.
Right,
And so
right.
one of the causes that we found in business, Demarcus, which Demarcus, you've probably heard me preach this from the rooftops, which is
Mm.
10 offers a day will keep poverty away.
Yeah, for
10
sure.
offers a day. And it's funny, D, because there's people in my DMs right now. I could probably go screenshot and bring the screenshot on the live that are like, Aaron, it's not working. I've been doing this for 6 months. It's not working. And then I ask them, how many offers are you putting up a day? 2, 3, less
Yeah,
than 5. And I'm like, bro, like you're not doing enough to see true traction in such a short amount of time.
yeah,
And we need to see intense input over a sustained amount of time in order to see success. This is not a get rich joint. This is a
yeah.
real business right?
Yeah, you really have to attack it. Like I said, I was a victim of that. I was doing 5, and I have more time. You were like, bro, just why not 10? And then so I started making 12 my goal. And if I hit 10, great. If I hit 9, great. You know what I mean? Anywhere in that range. So you definitely need to get the numbers up. Definitely got to get those offers out there and get the numbers up.
100%, 100%. Okay, so we've identified that the marketing channel that you use so that you were able to generate $60,000 with $0 out of pocket was agent outreach. So let's talk
Yes.
about let's talk about this, bro, because a lot of people, and by the way, who is this for? This is for anybody who wants to make a lot of money, which I don't know where you come from, but to me, even now, $30,000 a month, that's a lot of money.
Fact.
That's a lot of money,
Yeah.
bro. Right? So this is for anybody who wants to make a lot of money, but doesn't have a whole lot of out-of-pocket money that you can put into expenses in your
Facts.
business.
Yeah.
My man just said that he put $0 of marketing into the business and made $60,000 in 60 days. So,
Hmm.
but of course, we don't want to just talk about all the flowers and roses and chocolates. We want to talk about
Hmm.
the reality, Damarcus. So, talk to us about what were some of the challenges that you faced in this campaign, while talking
Yeah.
to agents that are maybe it's a little bit different from talking direct to seller. What are some of the
Facts.
real deal Holyfield type stuff that you are going to encounter, for those that are inspired by this?
Yeah, I mean, I went through, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a bit of a curve. You know, my wife is an agent, so I have general knowledge of, their contracts and the way they do things, how it's different from off-market deals. So I had a lot of issues, especially early, like in that first August to September, it was rocky with, explaining who I was to an agent, what I can bring to the table, how I can close, how your commission is going to be paid, how the seller should view me, like, are we going to talk? So I wasn't used to it at all, so it was definitely rocky at first. Like literally up until two of the first deals were rocky up until the moment everybody signed.
What do
And it
you
was
mean
on
when you
me.
say rocky? Like, what do you mean when you say rocky? Like, you mean in terms of
um
setting the expectations and
yeah,
gaining
setting proper
credibility?
expectations. Yeah, setting proper expectations with the agents on, whether in some deals I paid commission, some deals I didn't pay commission. So one of the deals I didn't pay commission, I thought, we had an agreement from the beginning that, I wasn't paying the commission, I was waiving it, for example.
Mm.
And this is something you need to be clear about.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the day before closing, the agent is just like, hey, where's the 3%? I just got the HUD. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mm.
What do you mean? Like, so it was a big thing. It was a big thing, with the closing attorney. Luckily, we got everything worked out. That deal closed, thank God. But it was a learning moment for me. Like, all right, this needs to be like in bold, black and white letters under my terms, like what I'm going to do, whether I have room to pay commission, whether I don't, whether I can give the seller a little more time to move out things or move things out the house, or I can't. So just dealing with agents, I learned to be like crispy, black and white, clear in our contracts and what expectations were, for
Okay,
sure.
so let's talk about this because I'm sure there's a lot of wholesalers who are like, man, I'm strapped on money, man. Sixty
Yeah.
thousand dollars in 60 days. It sounds really, really good right now. Um, well, how do you do it? Do you frame it from the beginning with the agent that, hey, I will pay your commission in order to leverage the
Mm-hmm.
deal? Or do you set the expectation that, listen, I'm not paying your commission, that's your
Mm-hmm.
seller's responsibility? Or do you kind of play it by ear based on the numbers? How does that go so that we can give some instruction to some who might want to start going on market right now?
Facts. Facts. So great question. I mean, with background in off market deals, I still make although I'm working through the agent and to help the seller, I still put the seller at the forefront of our needs. So the agent and I are like a team. The seller has a need that's greater than our compensation or what we're about to get.
Mm.
So I just say,
I hope
hey,
y'all are taking notes right now, y'all. I hope y'all are listening to
facts.
my man preach right now, y'all, because this
Facts.
attitude and this spirit is how you generate
Facts.
substantial amounts of money like this. Y'all pay attention to what my man is saying. You said
Facts.
you got to repeat that, bro. You said what about the seller's needs?
So I approach it as if I want to team up with the agent, but the seller is still above our needs, above our compensation needs, above a commission, above my need to make a lot of money in 30, 60 days. The seller is coming first. So the first way I approach it is, okay, hey, I'm Damarcus. I'm an investor. I'm looking to make a offer on this property. What's going on? Tell me what's going on with the seller. I want to get the story. And as far as the commission goes, you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just highlighting
Okay,
you.
cool. Okay, cool. As far as the commission goes, I approach it like, hey, I'm Damarcus. Instead of the seller having to pay a buyer's agent commission. I'm coming in cash. I can save the seller 3% and not charge them buyer's agent commission or waive the buyer's agent commission. What that means to an agent is, okay, I was only going to get 3% anyway. If an agent brought a buyer to the table, I was going to get 3%. If Damarcus comes in and waives the 3% for my seller, I'm still going to get 3%. Nothing really changes. The only thing that changes is I'm adding value to the seller by them not having to pay, 3%. So that's how I present it. And the agents usually like that because it saves the seller money. I'm paying closing costs. They were going to make 3% anyway, so it's not more or less than they signed on to make. And it's just a great segue into like getting a deal started on the numbers by offering that value.
Okay, does this make sense to everybody who's listening to this? All right, this is a beautiful way to structure a deal so that the 3% is still because typically whenever the agents do a listing agreement, the seller who listed with the agent is agreeing to pay 6% commission, which traditionally is 3% to the listing agent and 3% to the buying agent. Well, if you're coming in like Damarcus and saying, "Hey, I'm the prospective buyer, and I'm not represented by an agent," 3% of that 6% doesn't have to get paid in order for us to get this deal. So the seller can net more even if we're offering less theoretically.
Right.
And the listing agent, it's almost neither here nor there because they're still getting their 3% paid out by the seller, but the seller doesn't have to pay 6%. All right.
And just to say, for an example, I did a deal where I offered that, and then the listing agent ended up negotiating. They were great friends, and the seller wanted her to make a little more. She took 4%, so the seller saved 2%. That really puts the ball in the agents, So technically, just to make your point, the seller still signed on for 6%. Most agents are not going to just take 6% by themselves. Most will do 3%. I've had a deal where she took 4%. The seller wanted her to have 4%. So it just gives a lot of wiggle room between the agent and the seller to be able to negotiate and get you in the door for sure.
Come on, man. Come on. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. I love this. Okay. So we established 60. Look at what Alex Inman said. He said, "Let me hold some money." I love it.
I'm going to be over there soon, Alex. I'm going to be over there soon.
Yeah, we got ATL very heavy in the building. I don't know what it is about. Look, listen, y'all folks in ATL, bro. Let me just say this. Y'all folks in ATL, y'all the most hustlingest people I know, man. Anytime I've ever worked with somebody from ATL or Greater Atlanta, they always end up doing big things. So shout out to Atlanta, man. Y'all have a different spirit about the way y'all do this. Ryan Wilkerson says, "Inman in the building. We got heavies in the building, y'all. We got heavies in here." Okay, so we talked about the marketing campaign that you did to generate this sort of money. And listen, I gotta talk about this real quick. We're not giving enough highlight to this, guys. In business, everybody likes to talk about how much money they're making. And listen, I'm not saying everybody's cap. Y'all. But I will say, from behind the scenes, I can tell you, so many of these guys, you got to vet the people that you're listening to, because there's people that will talk about how many millions that they're making, but what they're not telling you is that their business is in the red. What they won't tell you is that they're making $400,000 a month, but the expenses are $390,000 a month. And what they're not telling you is that their company is not profitable, but they will tell you the top line revenue. But bottom line revenue, they will conveniently leave out of the narrative because for fear that if you knew how much money they were really making. So guys, think about this, y'all. My man generated $60,000 in 60 days with $0 in marketing expenses. Now, so that we're transparent, Damarcus, you did say when we were game planning, you do have some operational expenses that are not marketing expenses for your business, right?
Yes. Just stuff like prop stream. I think it's like $100 a month.
Yeah.
And that's really it. Really, that was all I used for just looking up properties, comps, stuff like that. PropStream was all I needed. And I
Yep.
use
Yep.
Zillow for a bulk of it, bro. I just was going off the fly. When I make calls, and this is a big point, to make a lot of offers, most people aren't going to answer the phone. You never know if they're going to be interested or not. So I didn't spend a lot of time comping properties before I started making offers. I just started when I was on the phone. So whether it was PropStream or Zillow, I use Zillow for the bulk of it, honestly. As far as like comping properties, getting numbers,
And
I told myself, if I'm thinking of a number and it's a $20,000 range, go in at the bottom. I can't be wrong. So I'm not going to go in higher. So I just use general numbers. That got the conversation started. And if I needed to clean some stuff up in a couple of days when we spoke again, I did that. But yeah, Zillow was the bulk of it.
come on, man. Come on. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. Brad Brentley, my guy, Brad Brentley. Go follow Brad Brentley for some bomb, amazing content. The dude is just a beast. Brad, we need to make some content, bro. Ryan Wilkerson says facts in regards to profitability. It's not just a matter of flexing how much money you're generating, y'all. It's how much money are you keeping, though. All right.
Facts.
My man Alex M. Inman says we buying supercars cash over here. Listen, bro, some of
Alex, a
us,
wild boy.
yeah. I got kids to think about, bro. So you know what I mean.
Facts.
I'm not buying the cars over here, but I'm not gonna lie. I be living vicariously through Alex's posts, bro.
Facts, bro.
Actually, Alex is putting me on to my first supercar that I will be purchasing. I set the goal of doing that this year. Um,
Same. He
but
did too. I'm gonna have to get that vet.
yeah, but I want the AMG GT Mercedes. But yeah, it's most likely going to be next year. I'm gonna have to push that joint to next year. We got
Right.
some major moves that we're making this year. Who knows? Maybe we do it this year, but I want to make sure we're
We
doing it
coming
the
for
right
you,
way.
Alex. We
We
coming for you,
coming for
dog.
you, bro. We coming for you, Alex Inman. All right, so I love this, man. So let's talk about how you generated the 60,000 in terms of the volume. All right. What we have is you generated a deal that was 21,000. These are like approximate rough numbers.
Yeah.
21,000. Another one that was about 11,000.
Hmm.
Another one that was about 8,000, and another 8,000 deal, and then another that was about $11,000. So you ended
Yeah.
up closing in 60 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals. So what would that
Yeah.
feel like to you? Those of you who are in the audience right now, what would that feel like for you to clear a check? 21,000, boom, hits the account. Then another 11 G's hits the account. Then another 8 G's hits the account. Then another 8 G's. Then another 11 G's hits the account.
Hmm.
And you knew that you spent $0 in marketing, right? What
Hmm.
would that do to your business? All right. What
Yeah.
what 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 would that look like for you? So for you, Damarcus, for you, this in the back end, I remember you saying, "Man, this was just such a confidence boost for you to see this happen in your business." But it wasn't
Yeah.
always like this.
No,
What?
no, no, no. We've seen some rainy days. You know what I mean?
So
We've
so
seen
let's
some
talk
rainy
about
days.
that because this is the
Hmm.
stuff that a lot of people they kind of talk about, but they kind of only hit the surface level. What were
Yeah.
some of the challenges that you faced leading up to this momentum of being able to generate the $60,000 in 60 days and changing your business?
Well, just overall, bro, had a crazy year. I personally experienced like a ton of loss in my own family.
Mm,
So I really didn't work for like 4 months, like not consistently throughout the year. And before that, just with business, not being consistent in the marketing campaigns, not firing when I needed to, or cutting
mm,
down when I needed to,
yeah,
not expanding our marketing campaigns. This I wasn't really focused on scaling, honestly, for
yeah,
the latter part of last year, Q3 and Q4. I was
yeah.
buying a house, wasn't focused. I was spending a lot of money, wasn't focused on how much is coming in. All right,
Mm,
gotta be careful. So, and not to say I would take that back, but now I know that I should have been a lot more focused on the business. That was during the interest rate hike. So that did have some effect on things. Our buyers started getting a little more tight, and I didn't
yeah,
adjust there. I just didn't make the necessary adjustments at all toward Q3, Q4 last year, first quarter of this year, and then again with the family situation, it was a rocky year. So that August 1st is when I really like dialed back in and got everything going again. Like I had no choice. I had no choice. People
yeah.
ask me how you did it. I had no choice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had to. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
So what would you say is the biggest lesson you learned you could pass down to somebody who's listening right now, and maybe they're listening to you and they're like, yo, like he's young, you know what I mean? He's got a young family, obviously been through some
Facts.
things. What advice would you
Facts.
give now in retrospect that okay,
Hmm.
now you got breathing room, you got capital. Now me and you in our back end consultation sessions, now they're starting to get more high level.
Hmm.
Now we're
They look
talking about
different now.
strategy. We're talking about the next 3 months because we're thinking different. We're making money now. So now
Right.
in retrospect, what advice would you give for those who are coming in?
I would say focus on your metrics. Focus on your metrics.
Mm,
And I know you hear it all the time on YouTube. You can see it all the time. But if you focus on your metrics, it's really a formula. So 10 offers a
mm.
day, 6 days a week, 2 months, you should have at least, like, I'm just throwing out rough numbers, 10 or 15,000 from those 2 months. If you're making those offers and metrics consistently, if you're doing calls, it's your offers. If you're texting, it's your texting, it's your offers. One thing Alex always says is like when I talk with him, all marketing campaigns work, bro. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna tell you, RVMs work, text work, calls work, driving for dollars works. So just stay with your metrics with whatever you're gonna do. Stick with it for at least 90 days. You cannot start a campaign or do anything and then stop it in 45 days and say it didn't work.
Facts.
It's not long enough. And the other piece of thing, I'm getting on Alex a lot here. That's my boy.
Yep.
Alex told me something before I closed my first deal in August. Um, I was telling him like my average deal size. He was saying like his average deal size is big. Let's just call it
I want
big.
to say it's
And
30 something. I want to say it's 30 something thousand.
yeah, he run up numbers, and I was telling him, bro, I put in the same amount of work as you, go
Mm,
through the same amount of BS with closing
mm.
attorneys, agents, sellers, buyers, and my deal size is 5K a deal, and his deal size is
Wait, hold
40.
up. Oh, he just put it here. He was like, correction,
Uh,
correction.
so no, honestly, and Alex will tell you, he remember. I was like, bro, because I think at that point when I got with Alex, I'm like, he was like, bro, you've done more deals than me this year. I'm
Mm,
like, wait a minute. It really didn't hit me until I got home. I'm like, if I can increase my deal size, meaning, and it's deep, is meaning believing that you deserve that 20,000, 30,000,
mm.
$40,000 deal, and stop setting yourself up to get 3, 4, 5K deals, you can do the same or less deals and make way more money. So
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
personally there yet at 40K a deal is coming soon, but that really also like flipped the switch. Like, bro, I'm not, because you're gonna deal with the same stuff anyway, whether your deal is
yeah,
2,500 or 80,000, you're gonna deal with the same stuff because the seller is gonna give you the same stuff, the
yeah.
same goods, the same highs, the same lows. So definitely just feeling a sense of value in yourself that you deserve those bigger spreads, and it'll make wholesaling a lot more worthwhile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, 100%. One of my favorite concepts from the book, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. One of the
Yeah, yep, I
greatest
got that book.
concepts, bro, that changed the way I thought about things was it takes the same amount of effort to dream about six figures as it takes to dream and think and talk about seven figures.
Yeah,
It all starts from a thought, and it takes the same amount of effort. So if I know I'm going to be working 8 plus to 15 8 to 12 hours a day as an entrepreneur, may as well I be that 8 to 12 hours a day. I'm focused on seven figures. I'm focused on
yeah.
bigger deal spreads. So let's talk about this real quick, bro, because this is so powerful right here. This is so you mentioned two things. You mentioned
Hmm.
two things in regards to what advice you would give. You generated, I got to keep reiterating because there's new people that coming in. Damarcus, 30 years old, out of Atlanta, generated $60,000 in 60 days with $0 marketing expense, y'all. And he has HUDs and everything to prove it. I asked him, what advice would you give for those who are just coming in the game or need this kind of break? He says, number one, focus on your metrics. And I want to I want us to break this down. When you say focus on your metrics, you mean focus on your IPAs, your income producing activities. And then
Yes.
you broke down that. What are these items? Can you just reiterate that? What does that mean? Focus on the metrics.
So for me, it's specifically offers. Like I'm not just calling random people and saying I'll give you a low. It's concentrated effort, meaning I'm putting myself in the best positions to be successful, meaning talking
Yeah.
to agents on deals that I can actually move. There's no point in talking to somebody on a deal you can't move, if you
Yeah.
know you can't move it. And so concentrated effort, but I keep tally. I got you my note. I keep tallies every single day
Yep.
of how many offers I made. I can go back. I got notebooks for days. So of how many offers. Every time I make an offer, I write a tally. So that should be like 10 plus every single day. Every single day I'm working. So if you focus on those things, if you're texting, focus on how many offers you're getting out. If you're direct mail, just focus on the numbers that actually count in your business, and the results will be there. If you're going to stick in the business, the results will be there with you or waiting for you, rather.
Yes. Yeah. So what this means, y'all, is stop winging your business. Yeah,
Yeah,
and winging it in business means you're doing the business every single day, but you don't know your numbers. That's what Damarcus
facts,
is saying. You don't. So
facts.
so if I go into your business right now and I say, listen, how much money did you make in the last 6 months? This was the first conversation me and Damarcus I ever had. The first conversation me and Damarcus ever had. That was my question to him. I was like, how much
Yeah.
money did you make in the last 6 months? And he told me.
And I was
And I'm like, how?
like,
Yeah. I was like, how many? Remember, Damarcus? I was like, how many
yeah.
offers have gone out in the last 6 months? You're like, bro, I don't know. I'm like, in the last week? You're like, I don't know. How many leads came in?
Hmm.
I think around. And I'm like, snap, bro. Okay, cool. So I was like,
Hmm.
I already know where to start. Guys, you need to know your numbers because the numbers tells the story and allows you to keep from being overly emotional in business. And
Hmm.
overly emotional decisions come from ignorance of the numbers. If you know the numbers, guess what, y'all? You don't have to worry about being emotional because, again, the universe is indifferent. Business is indifferent to your existence. It don't care about how you feel. The only thing that
Hmm.
matters is the numbers. So when Marcus started focusing on his numbers, guess what? The money started to come. Okay, so that's
Facts.
that's that's advice number one that you just gave. And the second advice that you gave was focusing. You started to focus on your identity, the
Yeah.
fact that you deserve the money that you had intentionally set out to get. Now that might sound
Facts.
like some rah-rah stuff somebody puts in a reel that, yo, like, I deserve
Hmm.
the money, so I ended up getting it. But bro, how real is that? Like, how intention,
Bro,
can you just break
it,
that down really quick?
for sure. It's like, for me, I'm a naturally confident person. I'm not bashful about it. I'm a confident guy. But
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And you told me, you're like, bro, it might be a little deeper than what you're thinking. It might be way, way deep down in your subconscious. Like, you don't deserve 20, $30,000 deals.
Mm.
And, I'm starting to think like, okay, well, why am I not getting these size deals? Like, it literally comes down to that point where it's time to shoot your shot, make your offer. Why are you making an offer that's only going to get you at best $10,000? You know they're gonna counter.
Mm.
You know some BS is gonna happen. The buyer's gonna walk the property and they're gonna get you. So now you're gonna walk away with four. So it,
Facts.
it, it really made me like flip the switch and start at, bro, like I'm starting at like a 30K spread because
Yeah.
that's what I want. And if it ends up being 18, 22, I'm straight with a dub. But it's just like giving myself more room for what I already know is coming. And it was deep. When the first time you told me that, I didn't believe it. Like, no, I'm confident, bro. Nope, that can't be it. But the more time went on, I started to really analyze myself and look inside and try to get that right. I corrected it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So I love that. So it starts with the thought, it starts with the belief. Alex Inman says, bro, you have to believe you deserve the big checks, and then they will
Yeah,
start to come. You know what I'm saying?
facts,
That's what the
facts.
scripture says. What did the Messiah say? I shared the scripture with you. Remember we talked about this, bro.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
um,
yes.
the one where the Messiah, he said, have faith that you have already received the things you prayed for, and then you will receive them. Right?
Right,
So that's the law of the universe. That's how it works.
right,
Um, uh, and I love, but you didn't just have faith. You also acted in harmony with it,
right,
wherein your offers started to reflect the belief. So
right.
it wasn't just you were just meditating like Rafiki, Indian style in your room saying $30,000 deals. You started
Facts.
offering deeper spreads, right?
Yeah, with a straight face too. It's not like hesitation. It's just, if they're going to say screw off or, sell they're not interested. It's not the deal for me. But I know what every deal comes with. So I just told myself I wasn't going to allow myself to keep doing like deals under like 7K, 8K. It wasn't worth the time. It just wasn't
Yep.
worth the time. So I had to get deeper on the deals for sure.
100%. So we have a question that just came in from the audience from Karina. Karina, She said, did you find your buyers first before calling out to agents? This is a really good question. This is a really good
No,
question.
no. I call the agents because again, I mean, it's always good to build relationships. So if you see somebody, if you know they're buying properties in your market, don't turn down the opportunity to talk to them and figure out what they're buying. I'm not saying don't network, but I always play the offense first, call the agent. I had stuff under contract when I had no idea how I was going to move it.
Yeah,
Thank God for, a couple guys I know that do great. Trevor Burwell, shout out to him.
yeah.
Does great dispo work in our market. So I knew people that could move deals. So, but no, I contacted the agent first. That stuff is harder. You get a good deal. In my opinion, the dispo should be easier than the
Yeah.
acquisition of a great deal. So,
Yep. Yep.
that stuff was easier in my opinion. So, always focus on the agent and the contract first.
Listen, there's people with multiple different philosophies out there, Karina, and some of them, their philosophy, and I've heard it even from big gurus, big names, and they say, go find the buyer first, because if you establish the customer first, you could reverse engineer what the buyer wants, and you could look for what the buyer wants. Listen, that's for if
No.
you don't, that's it for if you don't know the market. But
Right.
if you know, if you're in a market like Atlanta, greater Atlanta, if you're in a metropolitan market where you know action is action, and you focus on just getting a good deal, listen, you don't have to go build the buyers list first, fam. And
Facts.
anybody
Facts.
who doesn't agree with me, tag them in this. We can have a passionate conversation, and I have a
Facts.
whole case. I have a whole case and a bunch of case studies
Yeah.
to back up the fact that exactly what Damarcus said. I like to play the offensive, and if I can get a good deal, I could give a good deal away. Shoot,
Yeah. For sure.
you could
Yeah.
give a
It'll
good
sell
deal
itself.
away.
Hmm.
It'll sell itself as long as you put it in front of the right eyeballs and earlobes,
Right.
right?
No
So
doubt.
good question, Karina. Any other questions that y'all have? Put it in the comment section. We only have a few more minutes. Alex Edmond says, I can't buy a steak dinner with a $20,000 sign. This is how you know this man making money. This is how you know.
Listen to
This is how you know
James
this
Bond
man
over
making
there,
money.
man.
Yeah, man, listen, Black James Bond over here, bro.
That's Ghost from Power, bro. He's really doing it.
Yo, facts. Alex Inman is the wholesaling ghost from Power, bro.
For real.
Yo, I love it. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Here's another beautiful name. Wait, let me shout out my guy Charles Rodriguez says while we boasting, while we boasting, anyone got Cleveland buyers, 239 units. Connect with Charles. I love the fact that Charles is utilizing the audience, the live and the replay.
Facts.
Go connect with my man Charles. He actually is doing this business, making money. Hopefully y'all can connect and make some money. Charles
Hmm.
Rodriguez says, he says, Amen in Jehovah's name. Oh my. Um,
Hmm.
so here's what a Facebook user said. Where did you find your buyers? So let's talk about this. So you went on market as your marketing channel, generate
Hmm.
$60,000 in 60 days with $0 marketing expense. Your marketing channel was you went on market to agents and made offers at a deeply discount. So let's say they agreed to the price, you get it under
Hmm.
contract. Now
Hmm.
the next step is you need to get that contract sold and assigned. Where did you
Yes.
find your buyers? It seemed like you alluded to you had partnered with some JVs to get your deal sold.
Yeah, for most of them, I think one or two of them went to like institutional buyers. What that is like it's a big corporation. You have to build relationships with their acquisitions team. So I think two of them went to institutional buyers. The rest just went to active buyers in our market. So you can find those in your Facebook groups. The people that are always consistently buying. Bro, you can ask your closing attorney. If you close a deal, ask them who's closing deals, multiple deals a month. But for me, for these deals, because I wanted to keep the speed of me making offers. I didn't want to get bogged down in dispo. I partnered with my guy Trevor, and he did a lot of the dispo work. But they were just active buyers in the community, and I knew them. I mean, they're in the Facebook groups. Active buyers make themselves known. They're posting about it. They're always looking for deals. So just ask around for active buyers, and if it's a good deal, they'll definitely be interested.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So let's talk about this really quick before we wrap up, because I just want to give some more game for everybody who's in here. Um, so you basically JV'd uh,
Yes,
on the dispo, right? And you did that for the sake of speed, so that you could focus on locking up
right.
contracts and keeping that momentum going, right? If you hadn't JV'd, that 60,000 would have turned to what?
Maybe 40. because I would have lost at least one of the deals, like one of the chunks of the deals, because
No,
I
no,
would
no,
have
no,
been
no, no,
spending
no, no.
so.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Oh,
about let's say you got the deal sold but found the buyer yourself. That
mhm.
$60,000 would have turned to what? Because you gave up some equity, obviously, in the deal for the sake of
Oh
speed.
yeah.
Which I'm
Okay.
not
Got
knocking
you.
it.
Got you.
I'm not
Got you.
knocking it. I'm trying to make a
Yeah.
point here for everybody because I want to set a realistic tone. So you JV this deal
Yeah.
by the way, guys. For those of you that don't know, JV means Damarcus locked up the contract and then he basically found another reputable wholesaler in his market who knows and is connected with all the buyers who did all the disposition and helped him sell the contract, and then they split the fee however they decided to split the fee.
Yeah. I feel you. So that would have probably ended up being like roughly 72K. Yeah. I paid probably like 10 or 12K in JV fees.
All right, all right. So I want everybody to understand that there's value in JVing in the sense of speed. It can help you if you lock up the contract and you find somebody who's really cold with disposition, that person can help you move it fast. Just know, at scale, I always tell everybody, eventually you need to build up your own disposition department because
Right.
y'all just heard in the same amount of effort, the same amount of ad spend, the same amount of time you're gonna give up about he gave up what about $15,000 to $20,000 of equity. That's somebody's
Right.
that's somebody's entire that's half of somebody's annual salary. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
For sure. For sure.
So just keep that in mind. Again, y'all, I'm not knocking it. In fact, I'm encouraging it. Squad up with
Mm-hmm.
people. Connect with people. It's going to allow you to learn while you earn and make sure that you're
Mm-hmm.
actually performing on these deals. But keep in mind the big picture at all times as the owner and chief of your company that listen, you want to be capturing as much equity as humanly possible at scale in this
Right.
business in order for you to survive in business.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
let's close out on this, man. This has
Mm-hmm.
gone way too far. And can we talk about the fact that we have 115 people live across all platforms? Shout out Spotify, iTunes, LinkedIn, IG, Twitch, Facebook groups. We love you guys, man. We love you guys.
No doubt.
I told my man Damarcus, I was like, man, you never know if this is a hit, bro. If this is a hit, we might have to. Oh, what's that music in the back? Oh, dang.
I feel it
Snap.
though.
the
Yeah.
matter of fact, let's put some lo-fi in the back. But yeah, I told Demarcus if this was a hit and you provide a lot of value and the people are rocking with it very, very heavy, we will absolutely have to come back with a number two
For
and
sure.
maybe even
For sure.
series. I think the people are letting us know what they want to see, what they want to hear, Demarcus. So with
Yeah,
that
because there's
said,
a lot more I could share on the process of things I'm going through, the stuff I went through. There's a lot of stories that could add a lot of value if people are going to start talking to agents. I can save you a lot of time with the mistakes I made in the last, 60 days or so. So let's get it.
yeah, 100%. Mario, I would definitely get back with you 100%. Ryan Wilkerson says, now you know which foundational cornerstone of your business you need to build. 50% is a big rip. Think about how much faster you can scale if you're getting 100%. Yep, 100%.
Facts.
100%. Speaking from Ryan Wilkerson is somebody in our community, y'all, who is doing multiple six figures a month. This is big boss. This is big
Mm-hmm.
boss right here. All right. With that said, people are getting lots of value from this, Damarcus, and I'm loving to see it. Even on the back end in
Definitely.
YouTube and Twitch, we're starting to see people commenting a lot. With that said, Damarcus, what advice would you
Yeah.
give? What advice would you give as we close out to everybody who's listening to this as a note of inspiration and or instructional value?
Man, just, focus on, the gifts that God gave you. And whether you're religious or not, just focus on the gifts you have and put a concentrated effort that you can honestly be proud of and say you went balls to the wall for a sustained amount of time. That might be 90 days, it might be 60 days, it might be a year, it might be 2 years, but in the grand scheme of things, like life is really long for most people. So just give yourself the time, give yourself the space to be concentrated and work towards your goals, and just really don't give up. Surround yourself with great mentors like I did, great people in your market and whatever field you're doing, but keep track of your metrics. You should be doing something every day to work towards your goal, and it will happen, bro. I'm telling you, I got HUDs, baby. We got HUDs over here. I got HUDs laying everywhere. It will happen. It will happen. Just stay concentrated, stay focused, and have faith for sure.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Damarcus, you're somebody I view as a brother. You're a friend. You're a homie. I think we're definitely gonna have to hit him with a part 2, bro, and really break down some more tangible instructional value. With that said, continue putting on for your family, your beautiful wife Alexis, your son, your community, your mother, dad, RIP dad. In this journey, one of the things I don't think that you talked about, which I want to talk about more, is the fact that through this journey you lost your father, bro, one of your best friends, bro.
I did. And both my grandparents.
Guys, it was crazy. I know we don't have any time left, but it was like back to back to back. It was like, I remember just getting calls from my guy and being like, yo, like, I remember being in the garage one time and Damarcus calls me, y'all, and he's like, bro, like, I don't know if I can meet this coming up week. Like, my father just passed away yesterday or last night. I was shook, bro. I didn't know what to say. Right. So guys, just understand that Damarcus, and for a lot of people who come on here, but I think Damarcus epitomizes it and personifies it that when somebody comes on with a story like this, 60,000 in 60 days, there's a story behind that, man. It's not just numbers. It's a human behind that. It's an experience behind that. There's family behind that. There's people behind that. There's a vision behind it. And so for me, if y'all want to know why I'm always so excited and I'm so passionate and why I'm so energized talking to Damarcus, because I know the backstory. I meet with my guy every week. I've seen the work. I see the work that he's putting in, man. So to be able to be a part of Damarcus sharing his story with y'all means everything to me. I think y'all are going to be seeing this man and hearing from this young man a whole lot more. I think he's going to be an industry staple. And I'm just proud of you. I love you, bro. And thank you for coming on the platform, bro. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
With that said, y'all, until next time, it's your boy Aaron Bevins with the one and only Damarcus out of Atlanta. I need y'all to make sure you're driving safe if you're not home yet, so that you can go home and be with your family. Treat your family right. Tell them I love you. Brush your teeth. And for God's sakes, don't smack nobody. Until next time, let's get it.
We made it, that's facts, ayy. We the greatest, that's facts, ayy. Prices raising, that's facts, ayy. That's right. But we paid it, that's facts, ayy. I did. They hate it, that's facts, ayy. Cause we changing, that's facts, ayy. We did. Can't blame them, that's facts, ayy. Cause we made it, that's facts, ayy. Cherry on top, that's a goat, yeah. Where you been, I wanna know, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. Greatest story ever told, yeah. I know you wanna look up for this. Baby, let me turn you up a bit. You said you made it through hell and back. Give me the scoop, baby, tell the